Man.
Corner scheme up. Else from every corner scheme up. Told myself just 10 more years and I should be clean, but I'm a fiend. Smoke so much purple, I shit green. Bitch, trying to FaceTime naked. I need a split screen. Top dollar of the mechanics so the beam will sit mean. I give you 600 or 700. I can dream of 16, 69. Never. Man, you gonna do me and I'm done. See you gonna find better. See if I'm on. I'm not the one. These hoes listen. They sprinting when they get my calls. Look at y'all tricking. Same piss, different soul. Me, I'm never sleeping.
Give y'all time to get in here.
Looking like chicken. They hungry and you give a call. Cold cash, triple calls. Another nigga lost. I roll past, get exhaust. A hoes asses and chores. Bullshit on my line. This hour got me getting by. The best you can find. I feel like I'm in the sky.
Oh, we got some people already. Let me see something real quick. What's up, Shy, Bella, Felicia, Courtney, Rant Radio, Miss Mello, Tarita, what up? Conscious Coon Killer, what up? Jessica J, what up? Justin, what up? Y'all got some time.
I ain't got the beat on. I'm a young high, dumb fly, getting money, nigga, dumb high, young fly, getting money, nigga. I'm a young, get dumb high, young fly, getting money, nigga. I'm a young high, dumb fly, getting money, nigga, dumb high, young fly.
Y'all ain't late, you got time, it's all good. Don't worry. Y'all got time. Y'all got time, it's okay.
30 bottles later and I'm stumbling out. Bitches with me heads and titties coming out.
Y'all got some time.
I know I'm
Y'all get you something to drink.
I think I'm seeing double their asses and back to traffic up. Funny thing, I'm thinking about money while it's happening. My passion, she took it all down. Don't need a napkin, ask me if I give a fuck if I'ma see her again. I ain't your friend, I ain't got a pot to pee in the lid. Bitch, I'm a young fly, dumb hot, starting #1 guy. Rich niggas one time. I cheat them both for one ride. This taker, I'm gonna need you to take a chance. Post it, don't know nothing else.
I'm actually sitting here hyping it black. Why y'all get in here? While the room is popular, y'all hit that like button on your way in. Y'all know we're gonna get in a little bit.
I'm a young high, dumb fly, getting money, nigga, dumb high, young fly, getting money, nigga, getting money, nigga, dumb high, young fly, getting money, nigga. I'm a young high, dumb fly, getting money, nigga, dumb high, young fly.
What's up, Shay? We give y'all about 2 more minutes, then we're gonna get rolling.
But the key is to control the mind.
Being yourself, being different, baby. Shit, I feel like I'm the man. How a bitch gon' play me? She could be everything, same time, kissing, maybe. Rubbers popping, no jumping up on a dick, go crazy. Fish come out of boat and the whole ship is shady. I'm trusting none of them hoes. You niggas pimpin' lazy. I check me. Get your shit and hit out the exit, man. I'm acting harder than Goldie, but you a roadie that I'm connected. None of you bitches know me, try to only be respected. She gon' say
you smoking, man.
The moment I get a necklace, shorty fuck around with him and can't swim. She gon' drown. Cars flying the windows. I begin to spin a town. Now I ain't gon' put you down, but I ain't gon' put you on either. Cause I'ma look like a clown if I should pick the wrong either. The bitches stretch out and I ain't clip on my reaper.
Somebody just liked it already. You don't like Lloyd Banks?
Everything about like your inside out. You very still coming in when all your friends fly south. I know she only chasing me cause I'm on TV. I've been caught with one of her friends, she let me off easy. Crazy. You should know they don't like you, they like your lifestyle. Trying to figure out ways to get in your life now. She said she love me and I'm like, wow. Laughing as I'm busting her ass. Somebody white foul. Now, open your ear and pick up the game. Learn the ways of addiction. Put your click on to the same.
Okay. A lot of motherfuckers sleeping on Lloyd Banks, but they done got used to that, you know. But you know, they done got used to that fuckery, man. It's sad. Mad love to everybody that's here already. What's up, Miss Brown in the motherfucking house? Mad love to my mods that's in here right now. Miss Murphy in the house. Y'all coming on in. Man, let me listen. I'm gonna try to take my time through this conversation. We gonna chill with it. I hope everybody be able to hear what's being said. Shit's real. This is, some of y'all know this is my focal point. What's up to Tristan? What's up, Miss Cannon? But y'all, it's a Tuesday. It's a Tuesday. What's up, J1? It's a Tuesday. I ain't supposed to be in here. So if y'all be patient with me, we're gonna talk through this thing. You know, because again, this is my focal point. We're gonna be dealing with our kids. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be dealing with our kids. So, but first and foremost, let me say shout out to Team Rob. Mad love to everybody that's here, everybody that fuck with me, everybody that checks out my live stream, checks out my videos, shares those videos, likes those videos, comments on those videos, sends me messages of encouragement. Mad love to all of y'all doing the work of giving me some gas, because I'm telling you, this shit right here will wear your ass down. It will wear you down to the motherfucking, into the ground. It'll wear you down. So mad love to everybody who shows love. You hating motherfuckers that are being here tonight, just at least listen. As you're hating, that's fine, but at least listen to what's being said. That's the least you can do if you're gonna be your bitch ass in here for no reason. All right. Now, I wanted to talk about. I did a podcast interview yesterday, and you know, I was doing this podcast and I'm talking about Black parenting, and I'm noticing a lot of things going on right now, and I wanted to show the correlation between who we are as people, as adults, who we are as parents, and how it is projecting onto our children. I want to talk about that. Some of you may be privy to the history of chattel slavery. Some of y'all privy to that. Some of you have seen images from this time period. If you can recall, you have probably seen images where you'll have Black men and women, Black mothers and fathers being marched in a line, chained up, locked up, while their children are walking freely. Some of you may be familiar with that imagery. Mom and dad in chains, children walking freely. And, you know, to me, and I thought about this the other day, how powerful that imagery is, because that reigns to be true even now. As long as you can program the minds of the mother and father, you don't have to do much about the kids. They're going to follow the parents accordingly. If the mom and dad teach them how to be, teach them how to be good slaves, good chance that's what the children are going to be. There's a damn good chance that's what the children are going to be. You flash forward, we're here in so-called 2019. I'm seeing the same things happening with our children as far as Black pride and Black knowledge is concerned. Right now, the topic of discussion, of course, is going to be Grammys. The Grammys, right? This is what we're talking about. We were talking about how the Grammys done snubbed, you know, whoever, and who done won the Grammys, what they had on, blah, 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 blah. You know, this is the topic of conversation amongst adults. So to me, when I look at this, and a lot of times you'll have people that will call out this bullshit. They'll say, well, this is some distraction. These are distractions. These are distractions, which they are. But what I also notice is, and in doing this and in paying attention, is the shit we talk about, the shit we be on, that's what our kids be on. That's the shit they talk about. It's the exact, our kids mirror us. So the failings of our children are essentially our failings. The white man and his mama don't have to really work hard. They don't have to work hard at all to keep us indoctrinated, because we raise our children indoctrinated for them. We're raising little mental slaves at the house, little self-haters being raised at the house. So when they get out here and ready to, you know, coexist with the white man and his mama and their kids, they already ready to be dominated. They're already cowards. early. This is what's happening. Now, this isn't something that I've heard many of our even, you know, the great orators, great scholars. This isn't something that I've heard them really drill home and make their talking point. So I made it my talking point. So I will be mentioning this type of behavior, the things that we do. I'll be mentioning this a lot as it pertains to our children and what they watch us be, how they watch us exist, and how they mirror those same behaviors, the things that we teach them that are important. For example, and I mentioned this in a video I made on my Team Rock Videos channel about this Jaleel Adai, this football player for the Chargers who was toasting to having light-skinned children. That's what he did, toasting to having light-skinned children. And now we know that there is a, you know, black people in particular, they're not into the white man, black woman, and the black man, white woman. That's something that's looked down upon. A lot of them still doing it, but they still looking down upon that behavior. But here's what I remember when I was coming up. And I'm sure if you came up in this country and abroad even, you can see this is a worldwide thing. This isn't just American. This isn't people telling me he from overseas, like self-hate just don't cross oceans, or the colonizers stopped at oceans to indoctrinate our minds. I'm not doing the whole, well, he from over there, so that don't really apply to us. I've been around black folk all my life. These are the same self-haters I've been dealing with since I was a child. I didn't realize it then. I realized it as I got older, but it's the same things. So as we continue to try to separate ourselves and say, well, he from somewhere else, that's bullshit. That, to me, that's us making an excuse. But here's what I know. Coming up in this country, coming up in the black community in this country, we're taught a certain religion. A lot of y'all were going to be raised as Christian. I was. Can't say that you were, most definitely, but there's a good chance that you're going to be raised as Christian. What you learn in the Christian religion is that not only is God a white man, not only is his son, which is logical, his son would be a white man, but they mama, Mary, also a white woman. So we're teaching our children about the divinity and how divine white skin is, and then we'll turn around and, you know, don't understand when they're running off to the other team. We don't get that. We don't want to, you know, factor that, you know, take that into account as you're teaching your children how divine white skin is. Teaching your son that the divine savior came from a white woman, but you tell him don't fuck with white women. How exactly is a child's psyche supposed to differentiate between the two? How exactly is a child supposed to do that? We're creating a climate for our children, even when our children aren't going to school. I don't know about y'all, but most of my trauma came from other black people. Came from other black people. When I was a kid, most of my trauma came from other black people. That's just how it is. Now, I know for a fact that there is no white person in position in black parents' household teaching their children to go terrorize other black children at school. You didn't even know your nose was so-called big until a black person told you. Good chance. You didn't even know your hair was nappy, so-called nappy, until a black person told you. You didn't get that. You didn't know your lips were so-called big until somebody black told you. You didn't know that, you know, you black as midnight, or that you dark skin, or that you didn't know anything about that until other black people around you put this into your mind. If your experience was similar to mine, I'll say the trauma you face is going to come at the hand of other black children. And these are kids. Now, I love my people. I'm here to ride for my people. I try my best to wake my people up. But most of my trauma came from other black people. Miss Rye, I disagree with that. You said, but a white person told him to. How the fuck a white person told him to? How is that? How would a white person have told them to say those things to other black people? They heard their parents saying those things to other black people. Therefore, they said those things to other black people. So I disagree that a white person told him to come treat me like that at school, or I disagree that a white person didn't tell me to treat another black person like that. I done laughed at the dark skin jokes, the midnight jokes. Ain't no white person tell me to do that. And that's our problem. If we continue to say, well, you know, no fault is on the parents at all. And that's my main point. No white person told me to laugh at those types of jokes. No white person did that. That's what we did to each other. And we can continue to use that excuse. I mean, I'm not saying that, you know, you can ignore what I'm talking about. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you can ignore this shit. But I do know that when I was around black folk, that's when you're going to hear that type of shit. Because society already going to work a number on you. We're not even dealing with what white folk going to do. Because they're going to do what they're going to do. You see. They're going to do what they're going to do. But should a black child that's around majority black children have to take it from or get it from black folk too? Should that be the situation? Are we going to continue to say, well, I can't do anything. White people just, you know, all powerful. They're all knowing. I can't shake them. I can't beat them. I can't even raise my own fucking children with codes. It's impossible for me to do that because the white man is just, and his mama, they're so powerful. Why do we continue to give them that type of power? I would also believe that that is something that we taught from our parents, because my kids don't get that. They're not getting the almighty white man and his mama stories. I don't think that you can't raise a strong child, a strong black child, if that's what you're giving them. Well, you can't help yourself because a white person made you do that. A white person made you hate yourself. They did. We can go back and look at history. This is what they did. But the fact that it's still working is just like the example I gave. The locks and the chains are on the minds of the grown folk. The kids walking freely. And after a while, they was able to take them chains off. Even on the grown folk. Because they did a number on the mentality. But we in so-called 2019 now. You see. We're not getting that, you know, we're not getting that you don't make fun of other black children. When did you get that lesson? Anybody in here that got that lesson, comment with the number 3. If you got that. If you got that lesson at home. I never did, so I mean I'm not gonna put a 3 up, but if you got the lesson to not make fun of other black people, I didn't get it. Tarita, Elaine, y'all parents taught y'all not to make fun of other black people? Let me see. I never got that. Some of y'all, a lot of y'all got it. Shit. So what's that? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, about 8, 9. A lot of y'all got that lesson. Okay. I didn't. Somebody said they lied. I didn't get that lesson. And again, I can't speak to what everybody else got. I didn't get that lesson. I didn't get the lesson of you do not dare make fun of other black people. You don't join in at laughing at like dark skin jokes. You don't join in at laughing at your own features. I didn't get those lessons. If some people did, that's beautiful. I think that's great. I think that's amazing. I think that all Black children should be getting that lesson. Y'all said people lie. I don't know. I'm not gonna call folk liars. If they got the lesson, that's just the lesson that they got. But even down to our Black comedians, for a while, and even now, you would even have the Black comedians that would get on into comedy, and that was kind of a part of their bits. They made fun of exaggerated, would be Black characters. That was comedy to us. That's what Black comedians did. That was normal. That was fine. I didn't get it then. I get it now. Now I cringe. You see. Some of y'all say, y'all wouldn't talk to talk crazy at all. I didn't get it, man. My motherfuckers got roasted at my goddamn school. You got roasted if your edges was so-called nappy, if your skin was dark as hell, if you light skin, you're gonna get the light bright, you're gonna get those light skin would be jokes. You know what I'm saying? Like it's again, it was a little different where I came up. It was a little different where I came up. But what I knew, just based on me observing my situation, is that many Black people are not getting those lessons young. We get more so religious lessons. We get told how to behave at school. You better have them teachers calling my damn house. Better not have them calling my house. Say your prayers before you eat. Say your prayers before you go to sleep. We get these types of lessons. We get religious lessons a lot of times. That's what I received. Manners. I received that too. Get your feet off my couch. Wash them dishes. Clean your room. You get more so what I like to call just, if you ain't gonna listen, you can get the hell out of my house. You get stuff like this. Ass getting whooped if you fuck up, You get etiquette. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Yes, sir, no, sir. You get etiquette. That's more so along the lines of what I received. Bring home good grades, I didn't receive any codes at all about how to treat my own people. I didn't get any of that. I got a number of other things that I'm appreciative of. But I did not get any type of Black codes. And I know damn well it wasn't no white man or woman in my house telling my mama or daddy not to teach me these things. They just didn't deal with it. I wasn't prepared to deal with and to live in a country where racism is still very prevalent. Your mama tell you don't bring a white girl home. We got that. Got that lesson. Got that lesson. But you don't get the reality of the system that you're dealing with once you step out here into this world. You're being told to make good grades through high school, go to college. Hopefully, some white person will pick up, will hire you based on your resume. Get you a good job, make the family proud. Go to college to make the family proud. That's more so what I got. If somebody call you a nigger, beat them up. You'll get that. But racism ain't just the word nigger. You see, that's not what it is. So we're not getting it really framed to, we're not framing it to our children properly, nor are we creating black environments, black climates that are full of love. Those aren't being created as well, because you can't have a climate that's created with love if the kids aren't being taught love. It's impossible. When you coming up, a lot of your biggest enemies is going to be other black people. But they're children. When you get jumped by a black person for no reason at all, they weren't taught you don't do that. You don't sit around and fight on each other. You can teach each other how to fight, but you don't sit around and just jump somebody just cause. Again, maybe I came up in a little bit more of a hood style area, but you don't jump a black person. They just walking home from the store. You don't do that. Still at church every week. Some of the most gangsters, I don't even know if gangsterist, I don't know if gangsterist is a word, but some of the most gangsters motherfuckers I knew still talked about Jesus. Like, would go do some old wild shit and steal Jesus. And you'll hear it in some of these rap songs. All in the hood, selling dope, selling crack, doing all this shit, but talking about God and Jesus. I shoot a nigga, boom, boom, bang, bang. That nigga looked at me wrong, boom, boom, bang, bang. Fuck these niggas, fuck these hoes, fuck these bitches. I like to thank God for me winning this award for, you know, it's all him. And so it's like, what fuck you mean? You got those lessons, you know. You remember those types of lessons, but you're not getting no codes as to how to conduct yourself for your people. For your people. Y'all silly, don't laugh, y'all. Y'all don't laugh because it makes it hard for me not to laugh. Y'all doing these damn laughing faces. It makes it hard for me not to laugh. I know damn well, like, this is how you come up. I think we need to make I'm talking about a catastrophic shift in what we are teaching our children, because they following us. They see us being colorist. They see us, you know, hating each other, fighting with each other. We seem to only want to throw the hands or want the smoke, as they say these days, with other black folk. I have people treat me like that all the time. Like, what the fuck? What you doing wanting to smoke with me? That doesn't make any sense. Why are you wanting to bang with me? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. We talk about how we want to push for group economics, supporting black businesses. We compare ourselves to Asian communities. We compare ourselves to white communities. But one part that we haven't compared ourselves to thus far as those communities are concerned, is the fact that those Asians are bred from young to support their own. Stick together. That don't just come when they're 30 and somebody trying to come tell them now the reason why they should, because that's what we're having to do now. Now we're at a point where we're having to convince black people as to why these things are important. They get those lessons from young, and until we deal with that, we can't just keep shaming black. Oh, like, oh, what the Asians over there doing? They doing good. You see how they stick together? Well, that's because that's what they were taught. 2, 3, 4, 5 into the school system, 6, 7, 8. That's what they taught. We want to start talking to black folk when they 30. That's what makes this so difficult. That's why we're sitting around having to have conversations with grown black people who don't even understand how racism is even a thing. Don't even understand the benefit of, I don't have time to boycott Gucci. Motherfucker, I've been supporting black business because that's what I was taught. Then you ain't having to force it on people, trying to convince black people to stand up for each other, to fight for one another. Because you're talking to grown people that didn't get any codes when we were young. And black people should, really before now, we're going to deal more so in the present tense. It's detrimental that we get these lessons, that we give these lessons to our children. First, we got to get them ourselves. This is black parents. We have to get it. The grown black people got to get them first. But it's detrimental because our kids don't have the luxury to run around here and waste time, play games, hate each other for half your life, and then you woke up. You started seeing the light at 40, 30, 40 years old. That's why unifying is so hard for us, because that's not how we're being raised. We don't even, as parents, we don't even want to break the cycles. We don't want to break through those mental chains. And this is why you'll have folk talking about coming out boycotting Gucci. Floyd Mayweather said, fuck boycotting Gucci. He want to live life, blah, 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 blah. He don't follow trends, he says. When the trend is really black people getting rich and supporting white businesses. That's actually the trend, motherfucker. But, you know, when you're dealing with ignorance, this is seemingly, you know, I see some people caping for him like, oh, that's a free black man. He don't follow trends. That's not the trend. Ain't supporting black business. That's not the trend. The trend is to get rich and give it all back to the oppressor. That's actually the trend. And by and large, black people, that is the trend that we follow. You see. It doesn't make any sense. And I can look at Floyd and say, damn, that is a coon motherfucker. But I'm going to have to turn and look at his mama and his daddy. Because when you see these rich black entertainers and athletes, they're products of a certain type of raising. They're products of a certain mentality that's been raised before they got rich. This is prior to rich and success, and it's before all of that. That mentality is there before they get there. Once they get there, they can perpetuate that mentality. Because they haven't been taught that you don't go around supporting your oppressors. If anything, you start your own high-end. You rich, start your own high-end fashion. That's the lessons that we need to be teaching our kids young. But we don't get that. I've known parents that raise athletes and nothing matters at all but the wellness of the body and the craft of whatever sport it is. That's it. That is all. I'm trying to get this money so I can buy my mama a house and get her out of the hood. Get my family out of the hood. Not saying that's not noble. But once you get them out of the hood and move them around white folk, then what? If you don't have certain codes ingrained into you, it's difficult. Waking up should not be as hard as it is for us. But again, we're trying to wake up grown folk. Tarita, that's a good point. We're trying to wake up grown folk. But even with Muhammad Ali, he started getting that. He got those lessons. His parents was against him. If you remember the story of Muhammad Ali, he started drifting and being attracted to the NOI with Malcolm X and Elijah Muhammad. You see, that's still something he got grown. Now, what if he came up his whole life like that? Now, he did a good job converting his mind over to giving a fuck about the black community, giving a fuck about, standing for something, which is something a lot of these athletes can't do. But his parents was against that transition he made, Muhammad Ali. What you mean? You Cassius Clay. What you mean you got a slave master's name? What you talking about? That's a damn good name, And many of us experience this with our families, even right now, even when you're calling yourself waking up. Even when you call yourself waking up, your parents may, they might, no, I don't know if I like where this is going. Because we spend most of our time arguing and debating with other black folk, even within our families, whether it be friends that we may have had and going through that transition of awakening or getting a little bit of knowledge or something. You're going to spend your time having black folk argue with you. How you need to put your goddamn fist down. What you doing? You're going to bring attention to us. I'm scared. So you're supposed to be scared too. But that fear, that's raised in them early because they call it fear of God. But they're not teaching you that God is white for no reason. It's fear of white folk. Fear of the white man and his mama. That's what it is. Put your goddamn fist down. What you doing? You're going to bring attention to all of us. That fear we have is ingrained in us very early. You ain't born scared. You damn sure ain't born scared of no white folk. That's a mentality that is programmed into you by your parents and the communities that we're raised in. Because by and large, within the black community, you surrounded with just coons everywhere. Young, old, middle school, high school, at the corner store, at the game. It don't matter where you are. But that's our parent. That's the responsibility of black parents. We have to give our kids, raise them with courage, raise them with their fucking head held high, and stop half-assing and bullshitting them and making them believe that the only racism that exists is a white person calling you a nigger. Because most of the time, you're not even going to be around a whole bunch of white folk. Because white folk ain't trying to be around us like that. Now, once they get into the workforce, they're going to be around more white people, But typically, you're going to be around black folk. So you got to deal with that level of your own people and their self-hate, not letting that tear you down early, not letting that make you hate your people early. That's the first level you got to deal with. The second level is maybe a white person calls you a nigger, but that don't even happen to just a whole bunch of black folk. It happens. But that's not the level of type of racism you getting. You getting the one that won't give you that business loan. You don't understand why. They got your application looked over and you don't understand why. That glass ceiling type of racism, you don't understand why. Let me get to y'all's comments. I'll read some of y'all's comments now. If you've been saying stuff that I might have missed. Conscious Coon Killer 22 says, why isn't our hair considered good? Because we don't consider it good. That's us. When you hear most of now you're going to have some white institutions that will hate on natural hair. You even had the military that was doing it, that was stopping black women, in particular, from wearing the natural hair. You're going to have certain institutions that will stop black women from black people from wearing the natural hair. Certain schools even stopping black folk from wearing the natural hair. But most of that, the reason that our hair isn't considered good is because we don't consider it good. Once we decide it's good, it's going to be okay, in my opinion. Fuck what they talking about. You got a problem with my hair? Well, I can get the fuck up out of here then. When we decide, because society don't give a fuck about us. That's already a a pre-existing condition. That was here before you was born. When you arrived, this was in place. The sad part is when you arrived and you around black folk, that society, the self-hate about our hair and our features, that's something that's gonna be pushed on you from to your own people. I remember going to high school. Hell, black woman wasn't about to go 4 weeks without no perm, or relaxer is the technical term for it. They wasn't even gonna go 4 weeks. As soon as they saw a piece of that root coming up, it would be, if they didn't get it fixed, they was gonna be clowned, or they didn't feel as confident because they didn't have it in there, because it wasn't straight. And they got that. A lot of that came from their own moms. A lot of that came from their own mothers and was perpetuated by the men around them as well. So once we stop letting, letting society tell us we not good, that we have big lips, that we have, big noses, we let this society say anything. When, if per the history, we are the original people, that means our shit's not big. Everybody else shit's small. We don't even have the power in our mind to do that. A very simple, simple. If we are the original, how's our shit big? How we let them convince us our shit big? Why are we letting other black people sit around saying this type of shit, making jokes about it and shit? Simple things we can do. Simple messages we can pass down to our children. Simple ideas we can spread throughout our community. I hear people that will even, and they're not necessarily hating on themselves. They'll say, I'm proud of my big lips and my big nose. Your shit ain't big. What you talking about? Your shit normal. Our features are the original. You see. So even with little slight word changes, we got to stop that shit. And as black parents, we got to be on our, we have to be working double time to make sure that our black children love each other. And particularly if they have darker skin, we have to, you have to be on repetition every day. Let them know how beautiful they are. Don't worry about, because again, you send them up into these schools where other black folk gonna make fun of them. Don't pay them no attention. They ain't raised right. They ain't being raised right. They don't understand the importance of uplifting each other. They don't get it. Their moms ain't teaching them. Their dad's not teaching them. They're not getting those lessons, you see. That's a good point. Conscious Coon killer. Black people started every feature. We have every phenotype, but anything that looks more exclusive to us gets bashed. You're right, though. Our shit ain't too big or too dark or too big. But here's the thing. The fucked up part is we spend most of the time bashing. That's the part I'm trying to focus on. Because white folk, they gonna do their bashing. They gonna do their propaganda. They gonna put their little, skinny, pasty ass white hoes on magazines. They're gonna do that. But why we help them so much? That's my focus. Is why do we as parents, why do we help make it so easy for them to lower our children's self-esteem? We make it easy for them. In this day and age, I mean, they don't have to do anything. That's exactly what you should be doing, Tarita. Tarita said, my nieces have dark skin, and every time I see them, we stand in front of the mirror together, and I make them say, my black is beautiful over and over. And that's what's needed. And you're their aunt. That's beautiful. That's what we need. We need the communities. I mean, they always talking about it takes a village, but it really does. We say that and we don't we don't we don't actually act like that's the case. That is what it takes. If you are an adult black person, you're around black children at any time, you should be instilling pride. That's what you should be doing. So mad love to you for doing that. RBR, RBR says we have to retire the phrase system of white supremacy. That's why I say the idea of white supremacy is what I say. With Tamika Mallory's system of white oppression, we must stop thinking our oppressors are superior to us. I mean, that's what's up. I don't know if I don't think that phrase is what's causing all the self-hate, but I mean, for a change of words, I don't see anything wrong with that. But I say the idea of white supremacy. That's what I try to make sure I do when I'm talking about it. The idea, because they have the idea that they're supreme, but it's not real. It's an illusion of white supremacy that's reinforced by the system actually being owned by white people. So they get to, carry on like it's real, and we're not doing anything to combat them. We're not doing anything to combat them at all. Because we raising a bunch of proudless ass coons. That's what we're doing. Self-hating ass coons. We got to do this work. Because again, we can't be expecting, black folk to be loyal. We're not teaching loyalty to black people. We don't teach loyalty to our own people. Ain't no loyalty. Ashley Kirkland says, right, we don't own or control shit, and that has to change. You're most definitely right. The one thing we do control, we don't even use it. That's the crazy part. The one thing that we do control, which is what goes on in our household and how we raise our kids, we don't want no parts of it. We don't even exercise our power there. That's what's crazy. That's what's mind-blowing, is the fact that the power that we do have, the place where we control what goes on, we don't even exercise our power at all. The Tristan, you're absolutely, hey, 99%, I believe 99%. I think it can be changed, but we're just not vested into changing it. Sunnyside 1984 says, black folk have such low self-esteem that we don't even see how much white folk want to be like us. They tan, get lip/butt injections, try to talk like us, dress like us, etc. Absolutely. And we running around trying to be like them. We running around trying to be like them. And we don't even see that. Famous Fred, hold on, say stop blaming the white man for all your problems. Well, that's what we're doing over here. This is one issue that I'm not going to say the white man or his mom is responsible for this. And when it comes to instilling pride into our children to make sure that they're prepared for the racist white man and his motherfucking racist ass, bitch ass, hoe ass mama, our kids need to be raised with pride to be prepared for these goddamn white terrorists out here. They have to be. That's the work we gotta do at home. I'm not letting that aspect. I will not continue to allow black people to tell me they can't do it because of the white man and his mama. I refuse. I refuse to continue to accept that. You're exactly right, Miss Murphy. It's about time we embrace our natural beauty, because self-love is where it starts. Absolutely. Because if you love yourself, then, you know, if you love yourself, then once you teach that to your child, and we start teaching this to our children, then they start loving each other as well. Nobody said what, Miss Rob? What do you say? Nobody said that, Rob. What you mean? Phenon Noni says no one is holding you back from your goals in life. Depends on what your goals are. Depends on what your goals are. But a lot of this stuff, we're standing in our own way. A lot of it. Miss Ross says we have to do the work to get out of this. I know. I believe that. That's what I'm talking about. It was somebody made a comment and said you have to stop blaming the white man for all your problems. I just read it and responded to it. Calm down. Calm down. Shit. C-Star says, Rob, why do you think Africans allow other races to walk all over them on their own land? It's the same low self-esteem that we're suffering from here. Same, it's low self-esteem, lack of confidence, been conquered, colonized, and believe, even with the numbers they have over there, believe that hell, I'm trying to think of when did apartheid stop? In the 90s, I believe, not mistaken, in some areas in Africa. Apartheid stopped in the 90s, which is basically, you know, like our version of this segregation. But it's when you conquer the mind, it begins to be, it's so much easier to conquer a people once you get the mind. The African mind is gone. So once you get the mind and you don't convince yourself that these people coming in here, do you trust them? For reasons unknown to me, still, even trusting these Asians is coming up from now down in South Africa, moving their way on up, conquering the land over there. When you trust them and you're in fear of them, it gives them a lot of power over you. It's the same. I mean, when I say that this shit is a worldwide thing, it's the same thing. It don't matter the numbers then, because you convinced that you're inferior. You convince you're inferior. All of African, it's a lot of African nations over there worshiping white Jesus still. Christianity ran amok over there too. You know, like once you get that inferiority complex raised into you, it's tough. You can have one motherfucker conquer over 100 people. I mean, you can just look at some of the situations on these plantations where you had so many black people there, but their minds was gone. You clearly outnumber the white men on the plantation. Clearly outnumber, but that the mental is gone. The mind is gone. And we got to take our minds back. And it ain't going to happen. Again, if they're trying to take somebody's mind back at 30, you go ahead and build that mind strong, like everybody else does. Everybody else, they want to call black people racist for building minds strong young, raising children that can pass a fucking doll test. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are the only people who, if you trying to raise your kids strong, you'll be called racist for it. Not only by these fucking white man and his mama, you have black people call you racist for it. We the only people that happen to. You love black, you promote black pride, you love your women, you love your men, you'll be called racist for that. We the only people that happens to. It don't happen to nobody else. And that's a mentality we got to break. Right. Up and away. East Bay says it's not blaming just because we point out what white people do. Exactly. People kill me with that. This is preparation comes from, if you, some of y'all fuck with sports, right? Black folk. When a motherfucker is playing another team, don't they scout? Don't they understand the defenses they like to run, offenses they like to run? This is basic in every other form of life, but when it comes to black folk, doing any type of scouting, any type of preparation, any type of training, any type of practice, which is essentially what it's going to be, then it's an issue. Oh, y'all blaming the white man for, no, he controls the banks though. I can't say that. That's the issue. He controls the banks and rejects us for loans. That's a problem. He got a problem with some of our children having natural hair in his fucking schools. That's a problem to say that because it's the truth. They control the media, put out any type of propaganda they want to about you as a person. That's reality. They would call it a scouting report in any other form, you know, intel in military form, if you want to use military format. But we're not allowed to do this because your own people will tell you, oh, you blaming, you complaining. No, that's not what it's about. And one area where I won't hear us complain is what goes on inside of our house as it pertains to our children, as it pertains to the inferiority complex they have coming out into the white world. In your house for 18 years, you kick them out and send them out here to be around white folk. And they don't know what to do. But to continue to try to be accepted, because that's all they ever knew. Get disrespected and laugh and forgive. We got to prepare. We have to prepare our kids. We don't have a choice. Hold on. Let me get back up. Hell no, Ashley. They can't stand that shit. You can't say black pride because black pride to them equals the same thing that white pride means to them. We allow them to project. It's called projection. This is a psychological term. It's called projection because they know what white power means to them. They think black power means the same thing to us. You see, projection. And you even have black people who say this stuff. Put your fist down. That's racist. You know, we don't want the white folk looking at us strange or thinking we're racist. Like, who gives a fuck what they think? Who cares what they think? They're not doing shit about racism. That's why it's still going on. If white people was these great people that other black people claim they are, they're not all racist and all this shit. If it wasn't for white people being okay with racism, racism wouldn't exist. They would have got rid of it. They'd be mad about it. They're not mad. They're not bothered. You see. All these white folk that black people like to cape for, they're unbothered by your oppression. They're unbothered by everything that happens to you. And they think that your black power equals the same thing as their white power equal. And it's our job to correct that. Correct that in ourselves to where we're ashamed. Because it doesn't matter what they think about us. We have to get past that. So what if a white person thinks you're racist? So what? And for what? What did you do? Talk about redlining? Talk about the privatized prison complex? Tell the truth? They think you racist based on that? Who cares? Who the fuck cares what they think? But the only reason we care about what they think is because we're getting those lessons from young. Queen Mayat Girl TV says, I believe that we are entering an age where we're going to be tasked to improve our rhetoric in the form of black men leading the corrective charge we talk about to fix our community. I think that'd be great. But black men are in an interesting place in this society, being public enemy number one, in particular when we're dealing with straight black men, being public enemy number one, and having to not only prove to the white society that we are deserving, that we are powerful, that we are proud, we have to prove that to our women and children as well. We have to convince our women and children to take that up, or convince the women first, because a lot of times if you can't convince the woman, you damn sure not about to get to the kid with whatever rhetoric you have. Doesn't matter what it is. If the mom ain't on board, you're gonna have a problem, especially if she is the custodial parent. You're gonna have an issue. If you're in the house, and a lot of people go through this as well. If you're in the house and say you decide to wake up, I hear this from both mothers and fathers. They decide to wake up, been asleep for this long, done had this kid already, their mate still asleep, ain't interested in waking up, and they want to wake up, but then they dealing with conflict as to waking up. There's also that as well. So that's why it's important really to get people on the same wavelength, because yelling and kind of screaming at each other that, you know, I'm a black man, so I get to just say whatever the fuck, you know, I get to control. I'm woke up now, so goddamn it, I get to control. They don't work like that. Not if that mom decides that she wants to be a Christian, or she wants to continue to, you know, do and exist in whatever way she wants to. It's very difficult. It's not as easy as, you know, well, black men just, y'all just stand up and lead. It ain't that easy. It's not that easy, because we got to convince our people that this is the direction to follow in, that this consciousness or black pride is even something to be interested in or to want to dedicate your life to, because this ain't just reading one book. You know, it's not that. It's a lifestyle change. You have to start, you even start checking yourself. I still do it. This is a journey. It's a true lifestyle change. It's a journey. Who y'all talking about? Let me see what y'all talking about. But I do agree with you, though. And all this, you know, feminist rhetoric and all this stuff. And if you're a straight man now with masculinity, you toxic. It just, you know, we have to get over these. We got to jump through deal with all these hurdles first, and then try to convince, you know, it's gonna be a difficult road. That's why I deal with black parents as a whole. I don't like to separate, because we both have, we got work to do. We have work to do. Right now, it's the black man versus the black woman. We've been stuck here for 30 years. We've been stuck in this place for 30 years, if not longer than that. If not longer than 30 years, we've been here, black man versus the black woman, for at least 30 years. And that's not getting us anywhere at all. And then we'll continue to kind of divide up amongst each other. You know, people going off to do this, somebody going off to do that, finger pointing at each other, and our kids still not being raised with any type of pride, regardless. Hitman Jay, that's a good point. Say we need to learn about how about the idea of white supremacy. I know you didn't put the idea, but I like to say that we need to learn about the idea of white supremacy and how it works before anything. Most definitely. We don't get it. We really think that racism begins and ends with a white person with a Confederate flag shirt on, or some shit like that, or a swastika calling us a nigger. We think that's it. And that's low level racism. That's the low level form. Up and away East Bay said we already know how it works. Shit. I feel like that dude to be saying that shit. What's that dude to be saying that shit? Came off the wire. Shit. We do? Where? Who you speaking for? Talking about we already know how it works. Shit. You think our black men and women would sit around fighting each other all day, every day, if we knew how it works? Really? Because that battle is a product of white supremacy. White supremacy, the idea of white supremacy, motherfuckers sitting back laughing at us for that shit. They watch us conduct ourselves this way again 30 years. We don't understand how white supremacy works because we wake up every day fighting each other. That's impossible. We know how white supremacy works, in my opinion. You know, we need to. But hell, we believe it's racist to even learn about it, to teach our kids about it. We think everything is racist. Hell, I have black parents tell me I'm racist for not buying my children clothes with white folk on them, with white little cartoon characters and shit. I get called racist by black people for that. Stupid shit. Yeah, what you mean? That's racist. You see. Do that G-Wall say, I don't fight with other blacks. They fight me, and it becomes a headache dealing with them. Boy. Who you telling? Who you telling? It's a hell of a headache. But hell yeah, conscious Coon killer black people will tell you that you're racist for that. And it's like, what? What you saying? How are you saying that? You know, to me, a black man, and you know, I'm racist for not buying my kids white characters on their clothes. Meanwhile, in the world where y'all create all these non-racist white people, they don't wear black folk on their clothes, and y'all don't call them racist ever. Like, you actually defend them not being racist, and they're not putting you on their clothes. Their little girl not gonna have on a Doc McStuffin. They're not gonna have a, you know, a little who is the princess? The prison girlfriend of Princess Tiana, little Princess Tiana party. It's not happening. It's not happening. But you'll say they're not racist. but I am for not wanting to put my kids on their clothes with their characters on there. This is arguments from not white folk. Again, this is how I don't believe black people understand white supremacy. This is what I get from black parents. Because they want to put their little boy on a Super Mario shirt. No. Hell no. But you're right about somebody said something about Taylor Green said representation matters. Tell those parents to watch the doll test. Let me tell you what's crazy. Task your child to be able to pass the doll test, because to me, I believe by the time your child enters the school system, they should be able to pass the doll test. I think that should be standard practice for a black child. Nothing racist about it. Your child should be able to pass the doll test. Most black kids fail that test. What that means to me is that most black parents are failing their children, and ain't nobody batting an eye. It doesn't bother anybody when black people hate their skin. It don't bother the would-be dominant society. It doesn't bother them. They're fine with that. If your child passed, though, if your child passed the doll test, oh, you racist, and you teaching your kid to be racist. The only time you are not racist is if your child worships, cowers, and seeks approval from white folk. That's the only way. And this is other black folk. I said the doll test, not the dog test. I don't know about a dog test. White folk will pass the hell out of that, though. Shit, these motherfuckers. And these goddamn dogs, a dog is more valuable to them than any type of black life. Any type. Any type of black life. Carla, wait. Then how about Malcolm X and Martin Luther King? What about Malcolm X and Martin Luther King? Traveling Diva 2018 says, I'm trying to teach my niece to love her beautiful dark skin at the age of 4, and it's tough. Well, it's probably a little tougher because you're doing it from an aunt's position. I don't know who her mom is. But if she was doing the work and then you were coming in and reinforcing the work, it wouldn't be as hard. I don't know what work her mom is doing. Don't know what work her mom is doing. Y'all know you white folk love them goddamn animals and shit, though. Love them to death. Hell, to me, it's some black folk that love goddamn dogs way too fucking much. If you ask me, I don't get it. I mean, I understand they say man's best friend and all that shit, but I mean, some of these dudes is real. I grew up in the hood, so you're gonna be dealing with pit bulls and Rottweilers and Doberman pinchers. This is where I grew up around. I grew up around these three types of dogs in particular: pit bulls, Rottweilers, Doberman pinchers. That's what we dealing with, typically black folk, and they love them goddamn pit bulls. Them pit bulls is a fool to black folk. They love them damn dogs. Love them. Treat them dogs like they extended family. And breed them pure and shit. Breed them pure. They'll dilute their bloodline before they dilute the bloodline of a blue-nosed pit bull. Huh? You get you a blue-nosed pit bull and have them and try to mix them with something else, and that motherfucker, man, shit. Motherfucker got them shoot you over that goddamn dog. Shoot your ass over that goddamn dog. And you're not gonna fuck up their bloodline. Tarita, you better be goddamn careful kicking them goddamn pits and shit. Them motherfuckers lock on. Them motherfuckers lock on. Them motherfuckers lock on. I mean, I go toe to toe with a motherfucking big ass dog, but I won't want to. I say that. I won't want to. God damn, I clear I won't. I wouldn't want to. But I ain't about to goddamn be victimized by a goddamn dog either. But let me tell you how, if you grow up in the country and shit, you would agitate dogs just to run from them. That's the type of shit we used to do. Type games we used to play, you know. Just agitate dogs just to run from them. These motherfuckers could be behind a goddamn fence. You'll fuck with a dog just to have a reason to run. Just running like that dog ain't really wasn't even fucking with you, but you done fuck with it. Now you got to run like a motherfucker. We used to play like that for real. It was childish. I'm not saying childish. Yeah, we could have got fucked up. Actually, my brother got fucked up one time. I'm gonna tell you, because in the hood too, I'm gonna tell you another dog, and it's a real mean ass dog. I know we're getting off subject. We're gonna get back. But a real mean ass dog was the goddamn chow chows. It would be dogs running around in the hood sometimes just loose, like just out in the world, then broke free, essentially, you know. And them motherfuckers would come for your ass. Would come for your ass, just a loose, random ass dog. And once I learned about rabies, that made me have a different time. I said, no, no, hell no. Once I learned about what rabies was, that made me have a different type of, like, I wasn't really scared. I kind of fucked with dogs. But once I learned what rabies was, and then random ass dogs running around, and then you also learn, because again, rabies don't just make a motherfucking dog be crazy. It can also make a dog or cat or anything be extra friendly too. So I'm like, hell, now even if I see a dog walking with me in slow motion, motherfucker want to feed dogs and shit. Nope. Once I learned about rabies, I said, I'll be damn. And people dying over rabies in real life, I said, I'll be damn. I don't fuck with nice dogs. You can tell me they nice all the fuck you want to. I don't give a damn. They could be nice. They could be crazy as hell. I don't fuck with none of them. I ain't taking them type chances. But man, we used to fuck with dogs and run like a motherfucker, jump fences and shit. Like we turn that shit into a goddamn just fucking with dogs and shit. But I don't fuck with no goddamn dogs, man. Motherfuckers always want you to pet their dog, like that dog missing out on your hand not ever touching their head. Like, motherfucker, I'm not petting your damn dog. You can get that dog the fuck away from me. That's what you can do. You ain't your big ass dog. That dog can get mad at any second. Tired of the oppression, tired of the treatment, tired of the bondage, and break free. And I'll be damn if I'm gonna be here for that. Like that dog ain't missing out on shit because I didn't touch it. I promise you. but like you, like, oh, just pet it. It's not like, no, it's okay. It's gonna be all right. Your dog is gonna be all right. I think this time, like, we can save that shit. I'm not. I am not fucking with your goddamn dog. But white folk will do that shit. They come up to you smiling like, motherfucker, I don't trust you. What make you think I trust your dumbass dog? Like, no. Hell no. No. You come smiling out. They love to try to make you feel safe around their dogs and shit. Like, no, motherfucker, I don't feel safe. You can get that bitch away from me. Real life. For real. Carla, what's your question? Ask it again. Carla says she got a question she's stuck on. I heard you say, what about Malcolm X and Martin Luther King? But I didn't know what exactly you meant by that. What are you asking me about Malcolm X and Martin Luther King? Give me a complete question. I'll deal with it. Man, I'm going to tell you what. White folk think they have dominion over these animals. That's their arrogance. White people have a certain type of arrogance when it comes to animals. Like they can, and you'll see examples of it. You see how they act with them. Like they just be acting like they know how the dog feel. Like it's friendly. You don't worry. It won't bite. It won't harm. It won't hurt a fly. Like what the fuck do you mean it won't hurt a fly? I'm talking about me. The motherfucker might not hurt a fly, but that motherfucker might maul the shit out of me though. You see, and that's the problem I got with you and your goddamn random ass dog. I can't do it with you. I really can't. I can't. And then they think that the small dogs is nice and little chihuahuas and toy poodles and shit. Them motherfuckers be mean and crazy as hell. Hell no. I'm sure it won't hurt a fly. I can't catch them bitches. I'm talking about me. Shit. Get the fuck out of here with that goddamn dog. Black Rebel said, why do white people smell like dog? They got the same hair. They got the same fur. And when it's wet, it creates an adverse effect. That's all it is. It's that hair, man. But white folk believe they got dominion over these animals. Like they can make me feel good, you know. Make me feel safe. Like, motherfucker, you might, no, you're not about to convince me that I'm safe around no goddamn dog fucking with you. I was working at a job one time. I had to go to a house. This guy, we was doing some construction in his yard, and we had hit a sewer line and it was up there. It caused sewage to get into his house. I used to have to go in a lot of white people's houses. And they called a supervisor out there, and I'm the motherfucking supervisor, so I gotta go out there. These white folk was always they be shocked when they see a black man in a position of power. They be shocked. So here come me, the supervisor. Soon as I walk in, go towards the motherfucking house, because I talked to him. I said, "Well, you gotta show me the damage so I can assess exactly what we're gonna have to do for this busted sewer line in your house." So I go into his house. His dog is going crazy. Dog starts going. I mean, it's a big dog. And you know how white folk are. Well, don't worry. You know, like motherfucker, I'm not worried. You must be worried because you're telling me not to worry. I'll kill this motherfucker. But then he rest assured me and say, "Well, yeah, my dog's not racist." I'm like, wait, what? I don't recall giving. I ain't asked you nothing about your dog being racist. Why the fuck are you telling me that your dog isn't racist though? Why is that information that I need though? Like, motherfucker, you just done told on you and your goddamn dog, and the motherfucker probably is goddamn racist. Show me where the fuck this sewer line is so I can get the hell out of your nasty ass house. White folk keep some nasty ass houses too. Real nasty houses. Hoarderish houses and shit all over the goddamn place, you know. I'm gonna say, well, I don't know. My dog's not racist. It was a little joke to him. And I looked at that motherfucker with the straightest face in the world, like, what? Like, why the fuck did you just tell me that? So, you know, and I'm gonna tell you what's funny about a lot of you white motherfuckers. They try to laugh at their own little dumbass either jokes or they know they saying some fucked up ass shit. They'll laugh. I don't laugh with them. I'm one of them type black folk. Like, I'm not laughing with you because that shit wasn't funny. I don't see the joke, and I don't know why the fuck you just told me. I'm not laughing with you. Show me where the fuck the sewer line is. You ain't got that. It was a big ass dog. He told his little daughter to go put that motherfucker in some type of room and shit. I'm like, man, get the fuck out of here. I ain't laughing at that shit. Show me where the fuck the sewer line at though. Don't laugh at the motherfucker. When they say little dumbass shit, don't laugh with them. Don't even laugh. Like, look at the bitches with the straightest face in the world. Do not laugh at them. They think some of that little slick shit funny. They think that shit be funny as hell. Nah, this dog was a goddamn. It was like a Saint Bernard. You know them motherfuckers get big. Y'all remember they used to make us watch it. And let me tell you how much white folk love dogs. They'll put them in movies and shit and center the whole movie around a dog. Y'all remember Beethoven? This is my first, you know, movies like that. Lassie, Beethoven, Old Yeller, and all this shit. These motherfuckers will center a whole goddamn movie around a random ass dog. That lets you know they serious about this shit. They very serious about this shit. But nonetheless, it was one of them big ass Beethoven dogs. Big motherfucker. I mean, to me, I'm like, well, it don't matter to me whether the dog racist or not. I will kill that goddamn dog, and you'll be mad as hell. Because I got no love for him like everybody else, you know. I ain't got that type of love for dogs. They random as hell to me. But okay, we done went talking about these goddamn dogs. We done got off track. We done got off track, man. I can sit here and tell stories for days. I really could. I can tell stories for days. For days. But to bring us back, to where we were about these damn kids and how we must raise our children to be equipped. Nobody else is called racist for that. You know, conscious because I'm laughing at y'all. Y'all crazy. I'm not smoking. I'm smoking a black and mild. If you must know, I'm not smoking no. I can be like this without any type of marijuana. I know that's what y'all are saying. I know. But I can be old silly motherfucker without, you know. I can tell some stories and shit. I got plenty for days about every goddamn thing. But nonetheless, we have to. We have to. We must. It's imperative. In an effort to change the climate for our kids, in an effort for propaganda like what Kamala doing right now. Y'all see her motherfucking ass. I made a video about her on my other channel. You know, the propaganda, the pandering. She's using those same type tactics. Talking about she done smoked weed in college and shit, you know. And black folk checking her ass. She's talking about she done smoked weed in college and, you know, used to listen to Tupac and Snoop Dogg in 1986. Like, how the fuck you do that? Like, how was you? What song was it? You know, I want to be around sometime when these motherfuckers saying this. Like, okay, what song was that? Because they didn't come out to 91, 92. So what the fuck are you even talking about? But these motherfuckers are pandering. We have to teach our kids to even recognize when so-called black people are pandering to them as well. We have to. Our kids need to recognize that any black person that will fall for that, because they, again, hell, people fell for that shit with Bill Clinton. That motherfucker was calling that. They was calling that motherfucker black. How low does your self-esteem have to be for you to call a white man, a clearly white man, black? How low? This is grown folk doing this. How low does your self-esteem have to be? I remember this. This motherfucker put some shades on, played a goddamn saxophone or whatever the fuck he played, and they was calling him black. Like, these are grown people calling him black. So again, if our kids see us performing this way, we didn't care about the 3 strikes you're out, the legislation that he passed. We didn't care about the fact that this motherfucker was in the pocket of Big Farm. None of that stuff mattered to us. All the anti-black legislation that he put out here, none of that mattered. Black folk called that man black. That's ridiculous. But that's what, again, this is what, if grown people doing it, they don't recognize the propaganda. They can't see through the propaganda. Our kids are coming up right in that same climate, that same environment, and same shit. That was his wife, Justin. You said super predators. That was Hillary Clinton, 3Ks, don't get this shit fucked up, who ran the Democratic ticket against Donald Trump and beat him by 3 million votes. That was her. But she came out, when she ran, she pandered towards black folk. That's what she did. danced and shit. And regardless of the super predator rhetoric, regardless of the fact that what her husband did with the 3 strikes you're out legislation, regardless of the fact that as Secretary of Defense with Barack Obama, regardless of them assassinating Muammar Gaddafi, regardless of all of that, black folk still felt like she was the one. You remember the hot sauce up on the Breakfast Club? Like, bitch, who cares that you eat hot sauce? Y'all food bland as fuck. You need hot sauce. What you mean? But she was able to pander to black people that way and won us over. Now, what I do want us to do as black folk, as these motherfuckers are campaigning towards black people, as they are, you know, pandering to get the black vote, which it doesn't matter. Your fucking vote don't matter any goddamn way. But as they're pandering towards these votes, for our votes, the same energy we have for Kamala right now, we need to have the same energy for these white motherfuckers that come out here that's going to pander to us as well. Because Kamala's being checked. She's being checked. People pulling her goddamn card repeatedly. So we need to keep that same energy. That same energy for these white motherfuckers that's going to come out here smiling, acting like they love us. Same energy. Elaine Lloyd says, I don't think she won black people over. She didn't. Because black people checking her ass. I wish we had the same energy for these white motherfuckers that come out here to do the same type of tactics. Use the same tactics. Hell, I would argue if she was white, black folk wouldn't even beat on her ass like that. Really? If she was white, black folk wouldn't even be on her ass like that. That's the sad part. I am happy, though, that we checking her motherfucking ass. But they get to use these same tactics. Same tactics. And they know they get to use the same tactics. Do you know the reason they get to use the same type of tactics is because they know that the grown black folk then raised up children that will fall for the same tactics. It's the same shit. And as long as we raise our children to be susceptible to the same tricks, susceptible to having low self-esteem, susceptible to hating themselves, they will continue to use the same tactics. This is why I do feel as though, you know, it's our responsibility as parents. It's our responsibility. Nobody's making us raise self-hating ass coons at home. Nobody's making us do that. We're doing that shit all on our own. And we got to change that shit. That's my message. Y'all already know this is what we're going to talk about over here. Is these little, you know, little baby coons that don't even stand a chance. Don't stand a chance. But y'all, I'm about to get the fuck off here. I done got hungry and shit. I really want to show my appreciation to everybody who came, spent some time with a brother. Hopefully, we are taking this stuff back to take us home. We need to be taking this message home. My bad, Jay. I'm sorry that you just got on. You late. I got on at like 9:45. You late as hell. But hopefully, again, y'all, this ain't just about entertainment to me. This ain't just about me getting on here, just wanting to say some shit just cause. This is about me feeling as though one of the greatest things we can do as Black parents, our responsibility even for Black improvement, is to raise our children with pride. Raise them better than we got raised. We have to. We have to. That way the climate is better for them. They're not dealing with and battling with and banging with other black people all their lives. So hopefully y'all not watching this just simply for entertainment. I put about 4 videos up on my other channel on Team Rob videos. I did that today. Actually right not too long before I got on here. So if you're not subscribed to Team Rob videos, links in the description box. If you're not following me on social media, all those links in the description box to make donations, links in the description box. If nothing else, click the like button on the video if you like the conversation we had here. Share the video. Mad love. Shout out Team Rob, everybody that supports me. And I really, really hope that we get better. We got work to do. But we might as well not even talk about supporting black businesses and doing all this other shit until we create a mentality that our children will grow up, and that's all they're doing anyway. So they don't have to boycott Gucci. They don't have to boycott Prada. They don't have to do all that because they're already about that life. Mad love. Shout out to Team Rob, y'all. I'm out.